Welcome back. In today's video lecture, we'll discuss about unit number 1. We have already completed the contents of unit number 1 and we'll now have a quick recap about what we have discussed in the last 4 weeks of unit number 1. We started with the power system restructuring. We have discussed the evolution of restructuring of power systems, and we have also discussed the need for restructuring of power systems, and then we followed it with the objectives, why we should go with that one, and what happens if we go with the restructuring, what we call them as advantages of restructuring and deregulation of the power systems. This is what we have discussed in the starting class of this particular course. Followed by, we have discussed about the electric sector, what are the different components in electric sector. We started with the generator companies, followed by transcos, and we had a discussion on discoms. And we have also discussed about the different types of customers. And we have also mentioned about independent system operator and market operator. We have discussed the functions of all these participants in an electric sector. Later on, we have discussed about the restructuring models in power systems. Traditionally, we have been into bilateral contracts, but the restructuring models, they have been divided into 3 types. One was the pool-co model, the other one was the bilateral transactions model, bilateral contracts model. The third one was a combination of pool-co and bilateral contracts model, and it was called as a hybrid model. And we have discussed in detail about the pool-co model, where we have discussed who are the players in the market and what are their responsibilities and what is the role of independent system operator, and what in particular is about contracts for differences. Later on, we have discussed about bilateral contracts model. We have defined what a bilateral contract is, what will be there in a bilateral contract, and how it will be executed, and what is the role of independent system operator in a bilateral contracts model. Followed by, we have discussed in detail about hybrid model, where we have discussed the role of independent system operator, and we have seen the comparison of all these models with respect to their advantages and disadvantages. And we have also tried case studies to apply these models to our Indian context. Later, we started with independent system operator in lecture number 4 and lecture number 5. So we started with the introduction to independent system operator, the acronym, the introduction, followed by the objectives of ISO and the principles of ISO as laid by FERC, Federal Electricity Regulatory Commission, followed by the objectives of independent system operator. And we have also listed out the 6 ancillary services that are to be offered by, independent system operator. And we have also seen how independent system operator handles the transmission constraints and emergency conditions. Later, we have gone through the power exchange, what actually a power exchange is, and who will be there in the power exchange, the different types of participants, the load aggregators, the retailers, the large industrial customers, the marketers. We have discussed about them and their functions, and also in detail about the functions of PX. And we have also discussed about the market clearing price. And immediately on the next lecture, we have discussed about what is market clearing price, how it is determined. We have also seen supply curves and demand curve. And we have also had a quick session on market clearing price determination. We have determined MCP and the MCV, market clearing price and market clearing volume, for different case studies. And next, we have gone through the market operations. We have started with the classification of markets, the future markets, the real-time markets, again based upon their time scale, day-ahead markets, hour-ahead markets, and classification based upon elasticity of demand, the elastic markets and inelastic markets. We have discussed about the MCP and how the MCP will be different in elastic and inelastic markets. We have all discussed all these concepts in that particular lecture of market operations. Followed by, we have gone through the market part, how it is exercised and what are the negative impacts of market power. followed by the different instances where market power is being exercised, and followed by we have discussed about vertical and horizontal market power, how it can be overcome and what are the impacts of that. And next we have discussed about HHI, Herfindahl-Hirschman Index, which is generally used to compute the competitiveness in a particular market. Followed by we have discussed about the standard cost, what actually standard costs are and how they will be recovered. These are the contents which we have discussed in unit number 1. I hope that you will have a quick review about all these topics and prepare well for the minor 1 examination. Thank you.